Happy Thursday. What's going on? I am Lifestyles with Eric. Please make sure you share the video out, thumbs up the video. Make sure you comment. That's very, very important. And remember, if you're not a subscriber of Lifestyles with Eric, please consider subscribing to the Lifestyles with Eric because once you hit that subscribe button, you are definitely a family member. So let's do it. Let's do it. Happy Thursday, everybody. Happy Thursday. Happy Friday Eve. I am Lifestyles with Eric. Ms. Hope Kirk, what's going on? Welcome to Lifestyles. Thanks for being the first one in. I appreciate that. You could have been anywhere else, but you are with Lifestyles. Appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Miss Andrea Gant Davis, what's going on? Good to see you. Good to hear from you. Thanks for coming in. I am Lifestyles. Thanks for coming in. All right. All right. What is going on, everybody? I hope everybody got a notification today. That would make me happy because we know YouTube's been kind of playing games with those numbers. My numbers are growing. We are getting there. And so I just hope everybody gets their notifications like they're supposed to. And again, that would make me very happy. Actor Alec Baldwin has been charged with 2 counts of involuntary manslaughter in New Mexico. And I'm just trying to see what your thoughts would be on that. I'm going to see who comes in the chat, see how many we get in tonight. We've got about 10 in so far. That's awesome. Miss Janice Gray, Miss Debbie, welcome to Lifestyles. Thanks for coming in. It's good to hear from you. Good to see you. We asked about you last night. I don't think you got a notification, and I do apologize about that. Thanks for coming in tonight. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for the support, everybody. Thanks for the support. That means a lot. That definitely means a lot. Thank you for the support. I don't know if you remember, but I did a video on actor Alec Baldwin. It's been about 6 months. It was some months ago, and I did talk about this and I did discuss this. So I just want everybody to remember what I was saying. That guns don't go off by themselves. I'm a gun owner. I've been an advocate gun owner for years, and if you don't squeeze the trigger, it's not going to go off, whether it's an automatic or revolver. Guns just don't go off by themselves. There has to be something to engage the trigger to make them go off. So, actor Alec Baldwin's being charged with involuntary manslaughter, 2 counts, which could carry up to maybe 20 something years, possibly. So we'll see what happens. We've got our guest, the voice, coming in. So we'll let the voice come in and see what he has to say.
Hello, hello, good morning and good afternoon.
and good evening, my friend. What's going on? We got the voice in.
Oh man, headed to the house, man, trying to stop and get me something to eat real quick. And I'm listening in. What's going on with everybody? How's everybody doing?
Everybody's doing good. I guess you could just mute it when you're doing all your transactions.
Yeah.
Just mute the phone, and then we won't hear the background stuff. Can you hear me? You're having bad reception now. Mr. George, you froze up, buddy. And it's probably because of maybe where you're at or whatever. But the show must go on, and you're still there, but you just froze for a second. So
Okay, I'm back. My bad. I was at this. I had to cut off this daggone Wi-Fi where I was at. They interfere with my signal.
Oh, okay, no problem. No problem.
Yeah. So yeah, Mr. Alec Baldwin, man, that's a messed up situation there, man.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, I spoke on that about 6 months ago. So
Yeah,
I say things that kind of come to fruition sometimes. So it just but maybe they were just building a case, and actually he kind of uh, got himself into trouble because he had spoke up bad about the FBI, and he'd also been doing all kind of interviews with George Stephanopoulos and other people, and he shouldn't have been doing any interviews. And I'm sure his attorney told him probably wouldn't be a good idea because they can go back on that stuff. So
Yeah.
he probably shouldn't have did those. He probably shouldn't have did those interviews and said that the FBI wasn't doing their job and this, that, and the other. But now we're at the point where he's being charged in New Mexico with 2 counts of involuntary manslaughter. Like I said some months ago, guns don't go off by themselves. You have to squeeze the trigger. And in this case, Alec Baldwin squeezed the trigger. He killed a young lady that was working on the set for the movie Rust.
Yeah.
And he did pay a settlement out in a civil lawsuit that was already taken care of. But evidently, the DA in New Mexico picked this case up and felt that it was strong enough to charge him with those 2 counts. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm sure he's going to have one of the best attorneys money can buy. But remember, I said it was something strange about the case because the lady that was killed on the set, she was kind of a union person and an advocate for people on the sets being protected that worked on the movie sets. And she was really ruffling a lot of feathers before she was killed. And it just, I always talk about Hollywood stuff.
Right.
And that seemed a little Hollywood to me.
Yeah, it did. I'm just wondering if he's going to go to jail and serve any time at all. Woo! You know how that Hollywood stuff goes, man. It's like I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist and get some stuff started myself, but
why not? But I mean, conspiracies are coming true now. So, I mean, it just kind of is what it is. Really, it's not a conspiracy anymore. Things aren't conspiracies anymore. It's the truth. It just kind of, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he's going to get off with maybe. How could they spin that, man? As lack of evidence that he had an intent to kill somebody,
No, she said, first of all, the first one is because he was the executive producer. So he should have known all of that stuff.
Yeah, he should have. Because even the stunt people had their own opinion about how the difference between the blanks and prop guns and stuff and real guns. And
a gun tender had already spoke on that months ago and was saying, again, there's no way that a gun can just go off like that unless you stick your finger in the trigger and pull it. Period. That's it.
Yeah.
A revolver don't, especially revolvers. Revolvers, you got to pull the hammer back and squeeze the trigger.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. It's 3 people. Let's see. Reality Check says no one tested it firing, and he should not have pointed it at her. 5 years and $5,000 fine. Where did the live bullet come from? That's what I'm saying. That's just like that Bruce Lee shit. The Bruce Lee son shit. Think about that.
Talking about Brandon Lee.
That was a conspiracy. His son was told vital things by Bruce Lee, and then he ended up dead. They killed Bruce Lee. That was a conspiracy.
Yeah, what they say, Bruce died from allergic reaction to hashish.
No, he supposedly died from that electric shock shit, didn't he? From shocking.
No. He had his wife and his daughter both. They were saying that the cause of death was he smoked hashish back in the day. and
I
he
don't.
had an
I've
yeah, he
heard
had a reaction which caused his brain to swell. Now he did do those electrolysis for those muscle tension things to make his to flex his muscles like you're working out, so you don't actually go to the gym. He did do that, but from what I heard from the daughter and the mother, um, Shannon Lee, they were saying it was from hashish that would cause him to go into to cause his brain to swell from having a allergic reaction to it.
Yeah, but yeah, it's just been some mysterious things going on, man, and you know,
You know,
it,
but we're gonna do a show out here night riding late night.
I guess, and you always buying food.
Yeah. Hey, I owe everybody some food, don't I? But yeah, that situation. How long has that been since that murder took place? I mean, that accidental murder took place. It's been about what, 5, 6 years now?
Yes, Laura Lee. That I was talking about Brandon Lee. He was talking. We were talking about. I was talking about Brandon Lee and also Bruce Lee's death, Laura Lee. And thanks for coming in tonight. Tell
Hi, Laura Lee. How you
tell
doing, Laura
Tracy
Lee?
I said hey. Tell Tracy hey.
Hey, Tracy. How you doing, Tracy? So, let me think about this. Like, do you think after all this time that a good defense attorney may say that there's been changes in the story with somebody's confession was from then to now, and maybe get him off on how can they get him off of? So somebody's testimony wasn't exactly like it should have been. There was distortions or things
They're
were
going to try to.
changed.
I mean, like I said, he shouldn't have did any of those interviews. That was where he
Yeah,
made his. That's where he made his mistake. Because if
yeah.
he wouldn't have said anything, then they couldn't go back on what he said he did or didn't do. So that was the first mistake, and they can't blame it on all the he was the person that was in charge of the whole movie and the financier of the movie. So and he was on set and he was supposed to make sure everything was okay too. So that's what the DA was saying. So
I mean, yeah. Here's the thing: you do have people who are in charge of guns on the props and everything. That responsibility falls back up on them some too. So I mean, even though you're in charge, like you're the CEO of everything falls at your feet. But still, you have to have managers that still do their job. And you're right. When push comes to shove, yeah, you should have never point a weapon at anybody. I mean, I don't recall if
it,
it's a play gun or not.
well, the whole thing about that is that they weren't even filming when this was going on. So what were you
Yeah,
see? There's so many mysterious things that I'm saying that makes all the sense. First of all, you weren't filming. Second of all, she wasn't involved in the film. She was a part of the film. She wasn't in the film. Why would you point a gun, even if it's a play gun,
that's what I
at
just said.
somebody that's not even in the film?
Right.
And it was like it said, they said cut. It wasn't no filming. It wasn't, this was all after the film stuff wasn't even going on. You just on the set with a gun and you pointing it at her, and she doesn't work in the, it's nothing even for you to even be doing that. That's what I'm saying. That's why I know that this was a murder, allegedly. I believe that is an alleged murder. That's just what I think.
Yeah, but
Think about what I
it's
just
dumb.
said.
It was when you look in hindsight, I'm quite sure he's probably thinking, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have pointed the gun in that direction. Maybe I should have made sure there wasn't anything in the chamber. Um, all those thoughts are probably going through his mind. I wish I had that. Wish he had that moment back. Probably a lot of folks wish they had that moment back. It might have been some disagreements about how to shoot the next scene, or maybe going over how to shoot the next scene, and maybe you were demonstrating how to aim the gun to make it look more authentic in the movie.
Uh,
And yeah,
okay.
I mean, all those things comes into play. You might be thinking,
Well,
hey,
that
man, I wish I
an
had that
attorney
moment
could
back.
say that. An attorney could say
Yeah,
that. Attorney
yeah.
could say that.
Yeah, I mean,
a defense attorney is going to try to make up as much of to spend everything in their way as possible. So yeah,
yeah,
okay,
yeah, and anybody, I mean, anybody in their right mind or insane mind, well, let's not say insane mind, but anybody who's mentally challenged or whatever, once they go into therapy and get their uh, proper care, once they're in prison, they probably look back and say, "Man, I wish I had that moment back." You know, um, if I had it to do all over again, I would have got help, or maybe we could have resolved this situation in a different way. Maybe I could have played out those moments differently, and maybe she would still be alive. Maybe somebody else would still be alive. It's just it's hard. It's sad for the lady's family. May she rest in peace. Um, I think she had a husband and some kids, didn't she? I think.
he definitely had
Yes.
a husband. Yeah,
Yeah. So I'm like, it's sad, man. Then you got to go to trial and live through all that stuff again. And woo, and I like Alec Baldwin, man. He's one of my favorite actors, man. I loved him on 30 Rock, man. When he was on 30 Rock with Tracy Morgan and Tina Fey, man, that was one of my favorite, comedies series I used to watch. And
Janice,
uh,
Janice, that's exactly what I'm telling George is. Uh, if she was just a part of the production, there's no way he should have been pointing a gun at her. So see,
yeah,
and pulling the trigger. So that's where that's where we lie at right there.
yeah,
That's what's the problem. But they'll try to pick it apart as best as they can, I'm sure. But uh, it's crazy. Debbie got a little information on this case. She said one of the guys took probation, and yeah, she was a she was a camera lady.
yeah, camera lady, yeah. Because I was thinking like assistant director or something like that. She was a camera lady, yeah,
I tell you,
yeah.
I got the smartest audience in the whole YouTube world. I tell you, I got the smartest audience. Thank you, YouTube family. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah, she was a camera lady. I remember that now. Yeah, because I was thinking director or assistant director or something like that. But yeah, she was the camera lady in that movie.
Okay, so again, he had no reason to be pointing a gun at her. Not
True.
even, and really, not even. You can't even. He shouldn't even been demonstrating with her because she's the camera lady. She's not even a part of the set at all to be even demonstrating on. I'm a camera
Well,
person. You shouldn't be pointing nothing at me. So again, George, in this case, it's weird, but I think it was done purposely, brother.
I don't. I kind of got to push back on that. Even though you're the cameraman or the camera lady or the camera personnel, certain shots have to have a certain particular angle in order to come out right. So maybe he was trying to, or maybe they was trying to figure out the right angle to make the shot come off a certain way because you have to talk to all those people. You have to, the director and the camera crew have to get together to make sure the angles and the shots are coming out right to get the image that you want to display in the movie.
But you
So
still shouldn't be pointing a gun and
yeah,
sticking your finger in the trigger and pulling it, man. That
I
I
get that.
keep
Yeah,
going back to
I agree with you 100% on that. I agree. Yeah, because anybody tells you when you start getting a gun, never
I
point a
mean,
gun at anybody unless you intend to use it.
yeah, the gun tender said the same thing. The person that works on the movie
Mhm.
sets, he
Yeah.
said that's the whole point of the whole thing here. Why did Alec Baldwin point the gun at the lady, put his finger in the whole thing, pull the cock because it was a revolver, so he had to pull the thing back, the hammer back, and
Hmm.
then squeeze. So again, why did he do that? That's the burning question.
I mean, could you say it was unintentional? I mean, maybe.
Unintentional to stick his finger in there and point it and pull the trigger back?
I mean, people do things
George, things happen and
unintentionally.
people get covered up. I think that this was one of those alleged things. I think that they thought that this was going to get covered up and it was going to be a settlement and that's it and that was over with. And it wasn't. It wasn't. Unfortunately, this wasn't it. Sometimes things don't work the way we think they're going to work, even if we have a lot of money. Um, we'll see how this plays out, man. Let's just see how
Yeah.
it plays out. Let's just see how it plays out. That's all we can do.
I mean, and then on top of that, I hope it's not a. It's been how many years? It's been what? It's been over 5 years, over 6 years, something like that now.
For what?
For that movie since that happened.
No, this has been a year and 3 months.
Has it been that short? I thought it was longer than. Dang, it's been seem
No,
like it's been longer than that since that
no,
happened.
no. It's just happened. No, no.
Wow, I thought it was longer than that.
I
I
just
thought
did a
it's
YouTube on it 6 months ago when it can't. No, this ain't been a
no.
matter of fact.
I could have swore it was before COVID. Man,
Nah,
wow.
hell no. Nah, hell no. I don't. Hell no.
I remember the storyline though, but I'm just like, wow. I thought it was longer than that. I didn't think it was like this. A year or something.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Because like I said,
Yeah,
I did a YouTube on it. I remember doing a YouTube on it. But
yeah. It's
I
just
don't
a
know, man.
sad story, man.
Like I
Even when you
said,
think about, huh?
huh? Go ahead.
I said it's just a sad story all around, man. And, we you think about this young lady. You think about Brandon Lee. Matter of fact, what's her name, man? I don't want to disrespect her
I
family
don't
and not
know her
mention
name.
mention her name. I'm sorry to her
I
family
didn't
and friends
look.
for not
I
knowing
didn't
her
even.
name.
I didn't even look for the name. I just don't want to. I don't want to disrespect her name. So
Yeah,
with all due respect to the family, I'm not going to speak on her name. Um, you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
uh, I'm Alec Baldwin. Actually, is he's already famous, so I don't actually have to keep saying his name either. Uh, I can say AB, but no, seriously.
Yeah, you
But
could. That's true.
we'll just have to see how this plays out, folks. He killed her. He paid someone to put the ammunition in the gun. Now he's caught. Hey, Janice, that could definitely be true. Allegedly, that could definitely be true. So we'll see how this plays out. Um, we'll
Here's
see.
my one question. I got a question. Maybe you. I don't. I've never been on. I've been on a one music video set. What I don't understand is why would anybody on any movie set bring live ammunition to a movie set when you're supposed to be using blanks?
Unless you plan on doing something you're not supposed to be doing, George.
Well, I know, but
Do you think other way? I'm saying, do you
uh,
think that way? Because see, I just think that way. You're right. Why would you? Unless you're
now,
planning on doing something you're not supposed to be doing.
well,
That's
wait.
the other part of it.
This is what I heard. If I remember correctly, I think they were going to do some target shooting or something like that between the takes or something like that. But I'm like, still, if I'm not sure if that was correct, but I'm just trying to. I think there was something around that maybe they was going to do some target shooting with those type of guns or something like that during the break or on an off day or something. But I'm still like, with all the precautions, you should have blanks or non-live ammo only permitted onto that sound stage
Again,
or to that
George,
set.
he
How did that
pointed.
get there?
He shouldn't have pointed the gun. How would we would even have known if he would? See, that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. Even though the gun had live ammunition and wasn't supposed to, we wouldn't have known that if he wouldn't have pointed and pulled the trigger at her. See
Yeah.
see what I'm saying? I keep going. See, remember, I think just like this. I'm
But
not
what if
thinking no other way. We wouldn't
but
even know it was a
what
real
if the
trigger.
live ammo what if they were doing some target practicing and the live ammo somehow got mixed up with the blanks?
Again, why did he point the gun at her, stick his finger in the trigger and pull it? Rodney, George, that's the whole point.
But
That
maybe he thought it was a blank in there. You're just trying to show somebody, say, hey, bam, bam, if I do it
maybe
like
he did.
this.
I don't know. You're right. I don't know shit.
Because I mean, think about it. When you was a kid, we had some cowboys that was like doing some fast trigger action, just pulling a hammer back like this, and maybe he was trying to show a certain, you know, movement of the gun, firing the gun a certain way.
Maybe you ought to be a part of the defense team.
Hey, I just I just like to play the devil's advocate, man. I'm just like, maybe he was just trying to show the director, well, if we hold the gun like this, well, we can't hold it like that. We have to hold it like this, and that type of gun you can only fire it a certain way. And he put his finger in the trigger, and bam, it went off, and like unintentional. But I got to go back and agree with you. How did the live ammo end up in the gun? I can't get around that one.
I mean, I can't get around him pointing the gun at her, right, George? But there was no reason for him to be doing that. They wasn't target practicing.
Okay, do you think she might have been standing in a position that? See, I don't know. We wasn't there. Maybe she walked into the line of the gunfire or something like that, or I don't.
This was inside that. No, this was inside of that church.
The church, yeah.
Church that they had. This happened inside of that makeshift church for the movie set, George.
No, I get that, but you know how people on a movie set, or they're just moving around, maybe trying to get into to understand things, or they just happen to be working and you were just happen to be walking around. And I'm thinking, what if she just happened to walk up into the conversation when he's talking to the director? And
again, he had his finger in the gun, and the gun pointed and shot.
I get that. But I'm just saying, what if she just happened to walk in, a step into, unintentionally? What if she just step into the line of fire? Huh?
That's not making sense. What are you saying?
Well, I mean, say for instance, me and you, the director, you're standing to my left, and we're talking about camera angles and everything. I'm talking to you, the director, and I'm Alec Baldwin, and she's the camera lady, and she happens to walk up into the conversation, and I have to have my hand on the gun, and I'm trying to explain we're trying to work out a certain way to shoot the gun to make it look real, and she happens to walk up into the conversation, and bam, she walks into the line of fire. I mean, that could be.
Today he said Today he said he didn't even pull the trigger. See how he's contradicting this? See, man, Lord have mercy. He didn't dug.
Well, on that type of gun from that period of time, I have to agree. There's only two ways to fire that gun. You pull the trigger or you pull the hammer back.
That's it, man.
Yeah, and there's only that I know of. Now maybe somebody else could figure out a way to make that type of gun go off without pulling the trigger, but that's for a gun expert to explain how can the gun go off without pulling that trigger.
Still had to pull it.
Yeah,
he still had to point it. You still had to point it at her, man. So
yeah, what they go. I mean, what else could they say? It was a hot day and the gun just happened to go off. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, man. We'll just we'll see how it plays out, man. We'll see how it plays out.
It's sad all around, man. I just, like I say, I wish it never happened, because I was wanting to see that movie. I really did.
Well, now I don't want to have any. Well, of course, I don't even think they'll probably have to scrap it now. But
hey, Janice, I'm just trying to play devil's advocate. She said, George, you don't even believe yourself.
Yeah,
I know. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate, trying to be like, hey, if Johnny Cochran got OJ off, baby, I'm just trying to.
All right, Johnny Cochran Jr., motherfucker. You. All right. Well, all right, man.
But you know what? But remember, OJ was running his mouth too. He said, if I did it, I would have did this, and Johnny still got him off. And so
that was the dumbest shit he could have wrote. But man, we'll just we'll have to see how this plays out, and we'll keep our eye on this one. And I'm sure we'll be talking more about this in the coming months to see when the trial starts or whatever. But like I said, I want everybody to make sure they share the video out. Thank you for coming in tonight. I really appreciate it. I always say I got the smartest audience in the YouTube, the smartest YouTube family, and you guys always come up with great topics. Topics, comments. You always come with some good stuff. So I appreciate you. Again, you could have been anywhere else, but you're with Lifestyles with Eric tonight. Happy Thursday. We'll talk more about this. This is an interesting topic. And, we can talk about this on and on. Everybody has an opinion on it. But again, you don't put your finger in a gun, pull the trigger back and put your finger in and point a gun at anybody if you're not going to use it. So once you put your finger in that pull that hammer back and stick your finger in there and you pull, it's on. So that's the one thing we have to remember. Let's keep our prayers for that family. And that husband and their family. And I hope this all plays out well. I hope we find out the truth, and we'll see what happens. I'm Lifestyles with Eric. You are
George, the voice of reason.
all right. And this is Lifestyles with Eric. I want everybody to have a good night, and we'll see you tomorrow. All right. Take it easy. Bye bye. Peace.